If there's one thing that we can do as humans to transcend this idea that AI is going to take over is cultivating our authenticity and our genuineness.
Love is your true self.
Love is your true self. The element there is service to others. When you love, you want to serve. You're selfless.
So there is a trend of kids their age wanting to go back to our era, right? They want flip phones and they want like Polaroid cameras.
Yeah.
And they want like
that funny? Yeah.
Walkmans and things like that because they're just longing for something tactile, something like that's not on a screen.
They
right?
want connection. We thought it was in a digital social media and all of this was going to make us more connected. And in fact, it's created the opposite impact.
Yeah.
And that it's creating comparison and, you know, the highest level of depression in children and suicides and all. And you're just like, this is wild.
Welcome back, everyone. Another episode. Today we have Emily Galindo. It's a pleasure to be sitting down with you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. This is somebody that truly understands that business is about far more than transactions. That's what I see in you.
Thanks.
It's about people. Joining us today is Emily. Is it Sloyer, Galindo?
It is.
Community builder in the Woodlands, Texas, business growth strategist, human-centered leadership advocate, and someone who has dedicated her career to creating meaningful, high-value connections that drive real results. Emily is part of Next Level NIA. It's a group that we're part of, Fidelity Insurance. We're honored to be part of this group. And that was another synchronistic thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which you'll hear about shortly, where she helps professionals and businesses build relationships that lead to growth, opportunity, and lasting success. In today's world, where technology is changing everything, including how we network and communicate, Emily reminds us that authentic human connection is still one of the greatest competitive advantages anyone can have. Whew.
Period. Period.
Today, we're going to learn about Emily's journey, her philosophy on leadership, how she's built such a powerful network, and what all us can do to become better connectors in both business and life. Emily, welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, who wrote that?
ChatGPT.
Yeah, right. It is really good at writing things about, for better communication.
Yeah.
I think that it's really helping people tap into the things they wish they could say, but maybe don't have the skills to do so or whatever. And I think that that's something that's beautifully written like that. I'm like, man, I do all those things, but I probably wouldn't have written it that way for myself.
Correct,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're a giver, and we talked about this. You're always giving. You're a projector like myself.
No, I'm a Manny Gen.
Oh, you are?
I'm a Manny Gen 4-6. I'm here for the energetic connections. I was built for networking.
You're in your divine calling.
Yes,
Let's put it
thank
that
you.
way.
Yeah.
But it's seldom that, somebody invites you and puts you there on the seat there on the pedestal to talk about yourself, talk about real life things, things that are important to you, that are salient to you. And a lot of the things the reason we were connected is because we align with a lot of the things that you do. So it's tremendous to find you.
Oh, thank you. I'm also very honored to have you guys as part of the group. It really is. It's a little bit of a challenge, right? I meet a lot of business owners in our community, and some of them are great fits and some of them aren't. And it really is a challenge to find the right mindset. It does take, I'm glad I'm a Manny Gen because then I have the energy to actually meet with all of these people and intuitively assess really quickly, like you would be a good fit, you would not be a good fit, right? And making sure that I can create a container where we can have authentic relationships and talk about things that maybe are vulnerable, but that allows for massive returns on those relationships over time. Right?
Yeah, I agree. And I call that consciousness-based leading. And if there is one thing, because there's a lot of naysayers that, talk about AI and how AI is going to dominate the world. If there's one thing that we can do as humans to transcend this idea that AI is going to take over is cultivating our authenticity and our genuineness. That is what my policyholders to this day are looking for. Whenever I try to put a AI receptionist on the phone,
Yeah.
they don't like it.
No.
Yeah. We still want human connection.
we
We've
want-
all seen Wall-E. Where they
Yes,
finally
yeah.
touch each other. Like
Yeah.
Nice.
as if we were we were already super disconnected. Like we don't want a bigger wedge we are a tribal human being. And as we will talk about here in a little bit, how connected we are just from a soul energetic perspective, we can't not have that. That's not ever going to go away.
Yeah.
And I just see that as being what most people are going to be looking for
Yeah.
in this material world where there's mundaneness and redundancy. What's going to be the overarching sort of pillar of help that people will be looking for are conversations about self-realization,
Yes.
human development, our best version, authenticity, overcoming trauma, fear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
clear communication, esoteric practice. So, that's what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah, good. I mean, we talk about it all the time in our organization. So, and how we can
Love
connect
it.
it to business. So I'm super excited to be here and chat about all of this. Because every time we talk, it's like, I feel like we could do this for like 5 or 6 hours. So buckle up.
I know. And we talked about that yesterday. I'm like, be quiet. Let's talk about it tomorrow.
He did. I was just having that conversation
what I
this
mean?
morning.
Yeah.
That like I get on a soapbox when I'm passionate about something, and she's like, "No, wait, stop. Let me record this. And I'm like, just ask me again later,
Don't
and
worry.
I'll just
Yeah.
I can tell you it all again. It doesn't."
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Or people ask me about like sales training, about how I've been so successful to do all these things, and I'm like, I don't know. I just
do it.
do it. There's no process. There's no framework. There's
I
no
know.
plan questions. It just
I'd like to say that it's almost like channeling,
yeah.
right? It's like, it's there. I'm not tripping out about it. It's an endless flow of information that's coming through me. And it's beautiful. I don't know how, my intellect has a problem with it, but my intuition.
I don't know how I do it,
Yeah,
but I just do it. And people are like, "What did you just say?" And I'm like, "I don't know. What did I say?"
No, I can see.
Like I do that a lot. I'm like, I don't know what.
it because I don't remember.
I don't remember. It just can't. It feels more
I
like
can
a channel.
say the same thing in 12 different ways
Yeah.
because because the truth is immutable, really, and it can be said in many different ways. And I think all of literature that's mystical is trying to say the same thing,
100%.
but it's so darn beautiful. This glorious essence of the divine is so freaking awesome that it can't be truly said unless it's experienced, The
Right. Are you recording?
we should be. We are.
We should be recording this.
Mike knows. I'm
He
like,
knows. He just
Mike,
starts recording.
when you see our flow, don't stop. Just go. Just
Yeah,
record.
okay. But like, yeah, like I 100% agree with all of that. And it's interesting as I'm going through the conversations with God right now that
Yeah.
you're seeing,
that book.
they just, it's saying the same thing over and over and over. And I don't know why people don't pay attention to like just the overlap. Like that is what is big T true, not little T true. Like I know, like in terms of the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep going. This is the running theme right now and has been since I've started meditating, but I always go back to the human physiology and the nervous system terrain, if you will. When you talked about how come it doesn't really, land in most people. People are just so many distractions in life, right?
Very true.
There's trauma, there's fear, there's programming, there's malware. I call it malware. I follow Eckhart Tolle. I love that guy.
Yeah.
The ego mind, right? And always trying to be in control, usually in the future, tripping out about some assumption. It's not even reality. Or in the past, regretting something, right? And the person is just continuously oscillating,
Right.
but never settling into the now, right?
So the guy that I sent you the podcast about, Mo Goddard, who was interviewed on Stephen Bartlett's podcast and did Solve for Happy, he talks about that oscillation, right? And all negative emotions are either rooted in the past or in the future, right? Worrying about what's happening or regretting the past or whatever. And all positive feelings of joy and all of things only come and exist in the present.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. It's so true. I just got chills. Yeah. But
Confirmation.
confirmation, yeah. Your body reacts to it.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
We don't scrutinize. We don't scrutinize these thoughts. Most humans, we tend to identify with these negative thoughts. The negative thoughts arise from somewhere, from the abyss, let's call it. But we seem to erroneously think that these are my thoughts.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
It's a lie. It's a complete lie. These are not your thoughts. These are just thoughts. They're usually negative. And the practice that totally prescribes and that I've been following, which is Vedanta, Advaita, non-dualism, is to detangle from these thoughts,
Right.
these negative thoughts. The positive thoughts are you. That's your true self.
Right.
Align with that. That's
Love. Everything aligned with love. Yeah. Love is your true self.
Love is your true self. The element there is service to others. When you love, you want to serve. You're selfless.
Yes.
And then, of course, there's neutral thoughts. Oh, that car is white, whatever. It's neutral thoughts.
Right.
But this process of detangling is a purification process.
One of the most powerful, experiences of being a parent with my son was, and who's really struggled with for different reasons, but with negative thoughts. And we've worked a lot on it. And it dawned on me one day when we were driving and he was having a bad morning and whatever. And I had said to him, "Hey buddy, did you know that the bad things that you say to yourself aren't actually you?" And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "That's not actually you. Like, that's not really you. It's a lot of different places." And I could feel in the car the amount of relief that he got to let go of, because he genuinely just can't stop it, right? It doesn't know how to control it. And the relief that he got from the freedom of knowing that he could change it and it wasn't really him. And I was just like, holy shit. And to learn that at 10 at the time, instead of now at 40, right? Where you're like,
So
if I could
true.
just get that kind of a head start, if I could. But
Yes.
I that was really powerful.
It landed for him.
It's beautiful that
You
our
know?
kids have a leg up on that. You know what I mean? Because I've had so many conversations with our kids about that too. It's like, just because you think that is your reality doesn't mean that that's true of who you are. And you don't need to buy into that. That's a complete lie.
Right.
You know, maybe it's a defense mechanism. Maybe it's like whatever it is
Right.
in that moment where you're just trying to protect yourself from whatever you see as a threat. But then you realize, you step back and you're like, no, that's not really who I am.
Right.
So that's what's beautiful about our kids' generation. It's like
Yes.
they're able to kind of advance further than we ever were able to. 'Cause we
Right.
just took that in and thought that that was our reality.
Right. And as I worked through with my mom and stuff like that, just all of my, we did the best we could with the information we had at the time. And
Yeah.
I'm like 100%.
Yes.
And now that we have all of this other new research, more freedom sharing of information much faster, that I now have the access and now have the ability to gift it to my daughter before you were able to gift it to me. Right.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's really all it's about. And she's 7 now. And I'm like, and I'm teaching her about harnessing the source and, being in touch with and saying, archangel prayers on her in the morning and things like that just, I wish I could have had. I know my parents were capable of giving that to me because they didn't have that information, but it does make me feel like a super duper parent.
100%. Also, when we raise our children in our home, and it's the very home that we do our spiritual practice in, it's in the air, it's in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
They get to grow up in an ashram. They get to grow up in a holy place. It's kind of like turning on incense, right? And you're the incense. Whenever we do our esoteric practices, whether it's breath work, meditation, all the different things, they experience that growing up and they can distinguish what that is. So when they go out into the world, there is a contrast.
Yeah.
And they go back to, man, it's so peaceful. My children are always like, they love being at home.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
because
They can settle.
they can.
Yeah.
We talked about, when you get your heart, when your mind, heart, and your gut aligned through practice, meditation, esoteric practice, there's a resonance there. There's a vibrational field.
Yeah.
There's a force that's palpable for them.
It's grounding.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Definitely.
So while we give them contemplative, reflective suggestions and mantras like you have and we do, there's the other element of just creating that container, that space. And that's beautiful. That's like even more profound for them when they grow up. They're going to realize that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've said for a long time since I've had kids, they're like long-term investments and they don't vest until they're about 25 years old. And then they start to pay dividends. You know, every once in a while when you get that, oh, mommy, I love you out of nowhere. And you're like, yes, a dividend. I'll take it right now. But for the most part, your kids are a little bit older though, right?
Yeah.
Have
16, 14, and 11.
Yeah. Have you guys always had this practice in the home, or is this something that like I'm just now coming into it at about, she's probably was like 4 or 5.
Okay.
So it wasn't, and I know that 2 is a really important age, but
yeah, I mean, remember Ariana? I used to meditate.
Yeah.
And I would have my robe on, and I have pictures of her.
Yeah.
Like I have my candle.
She was a toddler.
At the Bon Air home. Remember that?
Yes.
And so yeah, they've been around. They've seen from their perspective.
Yes.
They're seeing, man, my parents are like they're meditating all the time. They're doing stuff that my friends' parents don't do, you know? So they're already remarking on that now because they're teenagers.
Sure.
You know, and the way we eat and, you know, the water that we drink, these little nuances.
Yeah.
They're aware that they're part of the weird family.
Well, and it's so funny because I don't think we didn't have those kind of practices in my house, which is why I'm so excited this time around. But which I think is the missing component that kind of veered my life off was not having a source or God or divine centered spiritual life of any kind of upbringing. But the things that we did do, like having family discussions at the table about, my mom was a civil rights attorney. And so we had like about the Constitution or about civil rights or whatever, or just open dialogue and things like that, until I was like just recently, like 35 years old, did I realize that not everybody's family was like that.
Yeah.
People come to my house all the time and they're like, you guys talk about this stuff? I'm like, you guys don't?
It's normal.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you don't?
Yeah.
So I would hear, I'm fun. It's interesting. I get like the water and the food, but like for most places, you would think that everybody had those kinds of things going on. But
well, from what we hear from our kids, especially because they're teenagers, is that like most of their friends don't eat dinner with their families. They don't have deep conversations.
Yeah.
They essentially ignore each other.
I know, it's so
and
sad.
It's super sad.
That's a judgment, but I feel like
it
it's
is sad though. And
they're trying really hard right now to step away from judgment.
Well, their friends are sad though, because it is a reality that they are sad, and that you know, there is a trend of kids their age wanting to go back to our era, right? They want flip phones and they want like Polaroid cameras.
Yeah.
And they want like
that funny?
Walkmans and things like that, because they're just longing for something tactile, something like that's not on a screen.
They want connection.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So it is a reality of their generation.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I have a friend who's in like in design, like overarching design, not, you know, graphic or anything. And the designs always have some sort of outcome that you hadn't planned for. And that is one of the outcomes that we got from, we thought it was going to, digital social media and all of this was going to make us more connected. And in fact, it's created the opposite impact.
Yeah.
And that it's creating comparison and, you know, the highest level of depression in children and suicides and all. And you're just like, this is wild. And if we could just get rid of it. I love what countries like Australia and China have done, which is like limit their access to social media and things like that. Does it require a federal government? Probably. Yeah, China.
China doesn't disallow. I mean, it comes from there, but they disallow it for their own citizens.
That's what I mean.
Like TikTok. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they have an age limit at some point, and like the app itself from like a federal level shuts down at a certain time. Australia doesn't allow it at all, and they're doing age verification through like photos and things like that, face recognition. To determine.
They created that shit. They know exactly what it does, what it's engineered to do.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're like, we ain't doing that, because these are the next generations of our country.
Yeah,
so it's actually like an economic threat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, it's a geopolitical issue.
It is. And unfortunately for us, you know, we believe in capital. We are a capitalistic society, and we can't sell stuff to you if you aren't looking at our ads.
Exactly.
And so we need you on this thing to look at our ads so you'll buy our stuff.
That's why we limit our kids' access severely, and we actually have an app that we use for it, so that they only have a certain amount of hours per day. They have a bedtime. They have a certain amount of hours of concentration and other things, so that they're actually learning, because they do online school. So, but yeah, we they don't have any actual social media.
No
at
social
all.
media.
Yeah, no,
And my daughter's 16. She's like, I'm the only one
Oh, good.
out of
You're
my
lucky.
friend group that
You're
doesn't
blessed.
have social
You're blessed.
media. And now she gets it because
Yeah.
her friends are like, I wish I didn't have it.
Yeah.
So after
Good.
so many years of her complaining about it, now she understands it because everyone that she knows is trying to get rid of it.
How wonderful. What an experience for her to not have to go through
It is.
the negative effects
Yeah.
and the withdrawals and all. Like, there they are.
And it's
Yeah.
really cool when your child turns around after a few years of, throwing a tantrum because they can't have it. But then they come to you and say, hey, you know what? I'm actually glad I don't have it. People are
Yeah.
trying to get rid of it. So it's like you create this sort of evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm your biggest fan, dude. Don't, I love you so much. Just trust.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been around. I'm not here to, I'm here to make more fun for you, not take away from you.
Right.
For
But when they
sure.
come back and say that, you're like, sweet,
We did
score.
the same thing with the girls with makeup. So we didn't let them wear makeup right in the middle school era.
Mm-hmm.
And they were so upset because all their friends started wearing way too much makeup at
Sure.
that age. But then what happened
This
in
is a
turn,
good story,
which
yeah.
is pretty crazy, is that everyone was asking them, what are you wearing? What's your makeup? Da, da, da. And they're like, I don't wear makeup.
my
My
skin.
dad does. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I take care of myself. Thank you.
Yeah,
Like, I'm naturally
exactly.
beautiful.
And
Yes. Good.
And so their friends were like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" And even guys were taking notice because they were like, "Wow, you're really beautiful." And then my girls were validated just for the fact that they are who they are.
I love that.
And now they wear makeup here and there, and it's not a big deal. But it's like I love that we delayed that
Yeah.
for so many years, and they were able to really just know that they're loved for who they are, no matter what.
Which hilarious is a trend right now
Yeah.
because less makeup is actually in right now.
It's a-
Yeah.
Like,
I'm ahead of the trends, girls. I make the trends.
And he had to be the bad guy, right?
Yeah, and you know
Yeah.
what? That's what a parent should do, in my opinion. And I think once we got through that lesson,
yeah.
I've loosened up now because we understand
They
the lesson
understand
now.
it now.
You have the foundation
have
of
the
where it comes
foundation.
from. And
Yeah.
at this point, now that you understand it, you get to make your own choice because you're
That's
a human.
what I wanted.
Right.
Exactly.
That's all I wanted.
Right.
Don't let the trends control you.
Right.
Be your own person. You have power over your own agency.
Yeah.
You are already beautiful. You don't need anything to make you less or more. All that is an illusion. Be you. Be authentic. Be genuine. Walk it out. Be confident.
Yeah.
And I think they delayed the gratification, like Jamie said, and now they're at a point where like, thanks so much. It's working out, and they're not really wearing much makeup
No.
anymore.
No.
So
I think that's awesome. I established with Charlotte really early on, like my job, I have one job and it has 2 steps, like to keep you safe and healthy. And every decision is based off of that thing. Like, and so she has like really owned that. And so every time I say no or yes, I'm like, what's rule number 1?
yeah,
She's like, to keep me safe and healthy. I'm like, okay, great. That's why you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then as she gets older, I'll explain in more detail about why and how it impacts and all of those things. But
Yeah.
like, we don't do sleepovers.
Yeah.
It's a hard no.
yeah,
Like, don't even bother asking.
yep.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
Like, for lots of for the obvious reasons.
Yes, of course.
And we don't have anybody at the house either doing sleepovers. I know some parents who are like, you can't go there, but they can come here. Like, it's across the board. No.
Yep. I drew the line on that just
Yeah.
the other day.
we had
Actually,
a
it's funny you say
situation
that.
like that the other
I'm
day.
like, nope, we're not doing it. It's all good, and
Yeah.
just you can stay up till midnight.
On the phone, doing
We'll
video.
come get you at midnight, but you're not staying.
We're gonna,
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But we were talking yesterday, and this is a good junction point. We talked about, how we're us three. We're corporate people. We're in the business world,
Yeah.
but yet we're very peculiar in that we aren't
best way.
the usual corporate people,
Right.
We're talking about things that you would likely find at a meditation retreat,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So it's this sort of unique position that we're in. And I want to say that when we're talking about, our peer groups and parents and, it's sad, we wish more. I think part of our journey, us three, is to inject the corporate world with consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I talk about, we had a great debate. I had a great debate with Mike a couple of episodes ago, but I talk about consciousness as being fundamental. And we talked about axioms or assumptions. Mike pointed out that as a human on earth, you have to have certain assumptions and you have certain theories. And so we battled this out. It was great. It was a 2-part series. We're probably going to do part 3 soon. But we came to the place. Yeah, well, it's good. We came to a place where we acknowledge, when I did a steel man on him, he did a steel man on me, so we could determine our positions. And they're very, very gentleman-like steelmen, meaning that we both understand each other's, even though we disagree,
Yeah.
Sure.
we understand each other's positions. So my position after the distillation of our civil debate was that consciousness is fundamental. And why I believe that's important in modernity is that if we want to help others, which is what we want to do, we talked about love
And
then
serving.
serving.
Right.
The next thing is to help others, because that's our intrinsic innate design. We love, we want to help. How do we do that? And in my 25 years of practicing TM, Transcendental Meditation, I've experientially discovered that consciousness is fundamental, meaning that the kingdom of heaven is within.
Sure.
There's a reason Yeshua said that. And as I researched the inner by closing my eyes, saying a mantra, I was able to slip between thoughts into this gap. And this gap happens to be pure consciousness. It's the mechanism of awareness. And it deserves research. So in these many years of meditation, I've been able to discover pure awareness, which is who I truly am. And with that are qualities. And those qualities can be experienced, so much so that Dr. Joe Dispenza, the Maharishi movement, can prove it. Meaning, I say consciousness is fundamental and I can prove it. Now, the naysayer says, well, how can you prove it? Well, I can shave my head. You can put some EEG probes on my scalp.
Yeah.
Right now, I challenge anybody out there, if you have one of these devices,
Right.
Let's do it.
I'm ready to do it.
I'm not
honestly.
shaving my head.
Okay.
To prove a point, I'm not.
I don't think I need to, but I'll be radical enough to do it. But
I believe that.
you know I would.
I know you would. Okay. And you could prove that that you can control your brain waves and
Yes,
slip into
ma'am.
this consciousness.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And the reason I want to say that is that consciousness can be proven. There's a direct correspondence to experiencing your true kingdom of heaven self. I believe in Christian language,
Sure.
stabilizing this kingdom of heaven, pure consciousness, unified field samadhi, whatever, nirvana, moksha, many names, same thing. Once that's stabilized, I assert that that is, in fact, the real born again that is spoken about in Christendom. And that this stabilization of this unified field within has infinite organizing power. It has a correspondence. And it is truly the peace that surpasses understanding. We talked about how only poets can even come close to articulating this experience. But the experience is real. But from my perspective, when I tell people, they just think it's trite. It's very cliche.
Woo.
Yes.
That's the other word we like to hear
Yes.
all the time is so woo.
Yes.
You know, and I've seen a lot of videos that are not to be a 10 hat person, but like they being the people who have power and want to remain in power, call it that and diminish it and whatever so that we don't access that kind of power that you are talking about.
Yeah.
That's it. That's truth.
It's
facts.
that is true. That is big T truth.
Now the elites have free will too. Okay?
Of course.
And they
Everybody does.
understand it
Yeah.
and they leverage it. They understand the pineal gland, the pituitary gland. They understand colostrum. They understand the spine holding consciousness, the 33 vertebrates. They understand these facts, but they are service to self.
Right.
Okay? They're following the dark path, and they're allowed to, because in this 3D world, Earth, we need contrast. So
Oh, yes.
divine intelligence allows it to happen.
Right.
So it's a we call it a catalyst.
Yeah.
Right? We get to see the temptation and we get to make a choice.
Right.
If we have the nervous system that is in the kingdom of heaven, we get to look at that and go, I'm going home, baby. I'm here. This is just an illusion, right? And so this is the practice. And the why I bring this up right now is I think my mission is to be able to help others in my sphere of influence. No matter if they're a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Jain, a Zoroastrian, a Baha'i, there's no argument about your culture or religion. Keep it, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah.
But consciousness is fundamental, meaning that each person, no matter where their walk of life is or where they come from, even an atheist, can practice a technology where they can experience their true self. And by doing so, they can end and reduce suffering.
You know, it's so funny that how you inflected even an atheist. So up until recently, I may have categorized, not recently, like recent, but I would have categorized myself as an atheist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because none of the rules of any of the other things made any sense and I wasn't going to do any of that. But there was always a knowing that wasn't in fact true. Like nothing is there. Didn't feel right either, but I didn't know what else to call it until I went on this mission, on this journey. Right. And until I experienced consciousness and felt it for myself, that I go, oh yeah, no, I always knew that. That's bullshit. Yeah. No, like I knew that there was something.
Been there.
Yeah. And I knew, and I think the meat suit needs, well, I mean, in the book, in Conversation with God, we talk about knowing, experiencing, and then being. Right? That is the Holy Trinity.
That is.
And so I think everybody walking, I don't know about everybody. I always like to think that everybody wants better or everybody knows, but I don't think that's true. I think that we have a distinct amount of people who are walking around wildly unconscious.
Totally.
And a big conversation that I've been having with my peers and colleagues is, is ignorant bliss? And, red pill, blue pill, now every time I go to talk or speak or whatever, you're like, okay, is this my ego? Is this myself? Is this I am? Like, what is happening? You have to filter through all of these things as you're learning these practices to try to really check what is the grandest version of myself before you even order a chicken sandwich is the ongoing joke, right? But I'm not sure that there are people out there that even know that what they're experiencing, if there's anything other than what they are currently experiencing.
Yeah, they're called NPCs.
I was going to say that.
Oh, right.
Non-player characters.
Do you remember that thing?
Yeah.
Like on TikTok where that was like a thing.
Yeah. The problem with that
You think
is
they're designed just to be there for us?
they have the potentiality to wake
They
up.
have a purpose also.
And this is where I'm getting
Fair.
They have
Okay.
a purpose. They have a potentiality of waking up, and they're suffering. No matter what, they're suffering because the idea that they find happiness, but it's temporal. They suffer again.
Right. It's external.
It's
and
external. It's materialism.
Sure.
It never satisfies. And so they go around in this circle of suffering and downfall, temporary happiness, back to suffering. And we've come here to break this cycle.
Right. So, but like I believe that for every soul that's here, right? The soul yearns to be realigned, to remember, and to be reconnected to the source.
Reconnected.
Like,
Right.
So how do you?
And I think people that end up breaking through, we are those people, and many of us, obviously less than the majority. I believe we are that bridge where we allow a higher density of light and love to come through our apparatus. And we inject this world with a higher truth, which is another way of saying consciousness.
Yep.
We give divine authority as becoming more conductive to bring through this new clarity, this deeper understanding.
Yeah.
And somehow I believe that is infectious.
You know, I knew that you were going to say that because I've had people come to me and go, I don't know what it is about you.
Yes.
But there's
Yeah.
something and I
Yeah.
want to know how to have it.
That's it.
Exactly.
This is what I'm
Like,
talking about
yeah.
right here.
That's what it is, because they are asleep, a lot of them, and they don't realize that they are because they're so programmed. Like, our world is full of programming, mass
distractions.
formation and psychological manipulation and distractions, and I mean, you name it, psyops, whatever, right? So people don't realize how much they're programmed until they encounter someone like you, someone like me, someone like him, right? And then they realize, wait, is it a glitch in the matrix? Like you were saying, red pill, blue pill. It's like, wait a minute, that doesn't align with what I see as my life, my matrix, right? And then you start to see, oh, wait, there's more of us.
And it's funny when we encounter each other, like our encounter, that
Yes.
you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm,
Yes.
we align. I don't know
Yeah.
how,
Right.
but like, and in
Exactly.
30 seconds at a coffee, you're like, yeah, you're my people. Or you walking into the building, I'm like, yep.
That's my tribe.
Like
Yep.
the light in me sees the light
That's
in
right.
you.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't mean we don't make mistakes.
No.
We just look at mistakes differently.
Yeah,
We look at mistakes as opportunities.
they're lessons.
We look at mistakes or errors as catalysts to get
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't look at this three-dimensional earth as a courtroom. We look at it as a classroom. We approach life in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And by overcoming some of these catalysts that there's a plethora of, we see that we can now pass these tests. I look at these things as tests. Can I overcome such and such? Can I overcome gluttony? Can I overcome judging? Can I find equanimity? Can I find equanimity
That's a good one.
between the Iranians and the Israelis?
Yeah.
Can I look at both sides, see what drives this conflict, because they want to kill each other, and not pick a side,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
find
and just go, and so it is.
so-
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, I mean, like I've been looking a lot, or at least been pulling towards understanding a lot of like the Buddhist, right? Where
Yeah.
they don't speak a lot, because I have found as I'm trying to overcome the judgments and overcome and be an observation of my thoughts and things like that, that I'm like, I really don't have a whole lot to say then. You know what I mean? As I'm retraining my body to just sit and observe what's happening and then go, well, isn't that interesting? And carry
Yeah.
on. Like
Yeah.
there's just so much not more else to
Yes.
say besides that.
Beautiful technique.
Yeah.
It's a
And the
beautiful technique.
detachment is gorgeous, because it's like that, in that detachment, you have your power, right? You're
Yeah.
not giving away your energy to all these other places.
Right.
And that is where the world starts to change, is when you take back your power, you remain in equanimity no matter what it is, family, friends, global stuff. And then you realize, oh, I don't need to give my energy to that. I can pray for that person. I can pray for that situation. I can understand them at a certain level. But then at the same time, I'm not going to give all of my mental space,
Yeah.
and clutter it up so that I am draining my energy, right?
It is a beautiful thing to do. I think it's the in between that people is where they abandon,
Yeah.
right? Because it is wildly uncomfortable
Yes.
to not engage, right? And not have the chaos and not have the rumination, like, and it's very quiet and it is very uncomfortable.
It is at first.
Yeah, that's what I mean. In that
Yeah,
space. And that's why people revert back so
exactly.
much, right?
Well, because their nervous system is trained
Yeah.
to be in that synapses, that loop of
Right.
like, okay, there's this, so I react this way, and this is the pattern. I know this pattern, so I'm comfortable. And so that,
So that's the ego mind again, right?
well, it's neurologically wired.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's also physical.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely part of our firmware,
Yes.
and it always wants to create activism. It's like Fox News or
Yes.
CNN.
Yeah.
It has a storyline. It wants us. It wants to compel us
Yeah.
to participate with it.
Doesn't it ever get tired, man? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is exhausting.
It is. It's when and this is back to Sanskrit, Buddhism, Vedanta, the practice Eckhart Tolle is to look at those. First of all, you recognize them. So
Yeah.
that's a
the
gradation
first
of
step,
enlightenment
yeah.
right there. First of all, you recognize that. And this is a contemplative study right now. Second thing you do is you're curious about it.
Mhm.
And in that curiosity, Curious George, you liken them as just clouds.
Yeah.
They're just clouds. The mechanism that's aware of those clouds, that's who we truly are. Eckhart Tolle is asking us to come back to the real self, which is the sky. The thoughts will go. They're coming, they're going.
Mm-hmm.
It's in that sort of letting go or detachment, non-identification with those thoughts, the storylines, the rhetoric, the past, the future. And then the breath, bringing it back to the body. When you bring attention back to the body, you're letting go of the future and the past. You're settling into the now. You're not siphoning your energy to one or the other, which is the polarity situation. You come into a place of equanimity. Now, if you keep practicing this, in that silent alignment, at a later time, you can be very effective in how you can deal with that conflict, because your energy is here. It's here. You're an open channel,
Yeah.
and there isn't a delusion anymore.
Well,
You're able to channel something from a higher level. Like Einstein says, problems cannot be solved from the level of the problem where the problem originates, right?
right.
You're able to kind of plug into the, if you will, the Akashic records, right?
Yeah.
This higher wisdom that we have authority and connection to, but you've developed it enough where now you can be very effective in this conflict, and you can chime in a very powerful way, which reduces the conflict and creates equanimity. Is
Right.
kind of my thought on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also, I mean, like you said, it reserves, because you don't have all of the story and all of the stuff going on. It's not that the problem, first of all, just by doing that minimizes, because you just are like,
Yeah.
again, isn't that interesting? Well, right. And we can step back and have, because I don't think solving the problem requires as much energy as it would have if we had done it way over here with all of this story and rhetoric and
Yes.
who thinks what and who's going to think. And you're just like, if you get rid of all of that, the problem then becomes literally this big.
Exactly.
And you're like, it is or it isn't. And if it's not, we believe in the divine, and it's going to be handled either way. So it's like, it's this big of a problem.
And that, my friend, from the perspective of the ego,
Yeah.
is upheaval. It's
Yeah.
calamity.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that the real you recognizes that it's this big. It's all just bullshit,
Yes.
right?
I
It's
can hear
all-
my back going, but what are they going to think about me? And I'm like, shh.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like it's like this constant.
It doesn't matter.
That's it.
Right.
That is liberation.
They're gonna think what they're gonna think, regardless of what you do.
Right.
That is liberation.
Yeah.
When that gets stabilized in life, which we call mindful meditation, over time, the ego mind is there, but it's not dominant anymore.
No.
It's like, oh, curious.
I imagine mine in like a diaper throwing a tantrum kind of thing. Like I have a boardroom with all of these people who sit at the table, and I have to tell them all to shut up and go back to their office and
Yes.
thank you for your contribution, and then let me go reflect
Yes.
as the leader,
Yes.
right? Like, because that's just how
love that.
the world I live in is a boardroom of things.
Beautiful metaphor, and that actually is extremely effective.
And in the corner is my ego, the
Yes.
toddler throwing a tantrum.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And
What does yours look like?
I don't know. I've never thought about it that way.
Oh,
I love
really?
that. I love that. I don't know. I think I'm more abstract, I guess.
Okay, because like I
Yeah.
have like teenage Emily who sits at the boardroom table, and like I have all the different versions of me
Oh,
that
I
I've
love
had.
that.
Yeah, like and everybody
I
gets an
love that.
opinion. Because if you don't acknowledge them, then they run the freaking show, and I don't know
Yeah.
it. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know it until I reflect, and I'm like, oh, I see what happened there.
That's the curiosity. That's the recognition. and then the letting go.
I have like a massive storyteller in my head, right?
Oh,
Like
okay.
I guess I'm a very visual person, so I can create entire movies in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I just realized not even that long ago that I'm like, why am I doing this? You know, because you create a story, like let's say we have a conversation and I create a story around that conversation based on what I assume that he's thinking.
Right.
Then that just goes on. Like it doesn't end, right? Like,
I have had so many conversations with people in my head that they are unaware of.
exactly. So it's like
Arguments are the best.
How is this beneficial?
It's not.
And then you feel like a total idiot because then later on we would go and have a conversation about said subject. And I've already had this like rhetoric in my head. And then I find out that none of it was true, right? And so he's looking at me like I'm
Crazy.
completely crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is not doing me any good whatsoever. So I've kind of just taken that piece out
Yeah.
completely.
I'm also
like-
curious, like how many of the conversations that you prepared for, how many, like in all of them, not just like this one, but like how many of those conversations actually happened the way you thought they were going to happen in your
Never.
head?
They never
Okay,
do.
good.
They never do.
I just want to make sure my numbers are the same.
It's almost like playing telephone. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, you can play telephone.
Yeah.
And it never ends up
That's
being the
beautiful.
same thing.
That's beautiful.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
It's
We're gonna play that game in our meeting next week or
Oh,
next
wow.
week. Next week.
It's
all
the same thing, and people don't realize.
Spooky.
Yeah.
The ego makes mistakes. It's not perfect.
Yes.
You can catch it making mistakes. It loses power eventually.
Yeah.
And my allegory is it's this dark room, and the moment the light comes on, because of your earnest desire to get better in life, create your best version, the light comes on, and the ego, which has been hiding in that dark room, gets caught. And it's an awkward moment for the ego.
Definitely.
And you look at, for the first time, because it's exposed,
Yeah.
it is extremely destroyed at this point. And now this next journey of the aspirant is continuing with the practice. And more catalysts will come in order for us to go deeper.
Definitely.
The catalysts that come are not our foes. There are opportunities to help us go deeper. And it's the end of the ego. It's on its downward spiral,
Definitely. Yeah.
right? And-
Only if you take it as an opportunity. Like
Only.
I've
Yeah.
seen them get much stronger
Oh, sure.
in
Yeah.
the catalyst
Yeah.
situations where now we just are the bigger victim and the bigger the, you know what I
Yes.
mean? And it
Yeah.
just gets worse. And I'm like, that was
That's-
your opportunity and you missed it. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean,
That's where
me.
you have to disengage with their ego.
I do. Yeah.
So that it doesn't get worse. Because that's what I've noticed with some of our familial relationships and such, where you see people start to inflate and go into this like panic mode or whatever it is in that situation. But then when you disengage from it, it takes the power out.
Oh my gosh, I had that the other day. I walked and
Yeah.
it started to go where it normally does. And
Yeah.
I just said, you know what? I checked it real quick and I was like, that's a perspective that you can hold. And I walked out the door and never thought about
Bingo.
it again. I was like,
So,
look at me.
so positive
that.
attention is awesome.
Yeah.
Negative attention is still energy,
Yes.
Yeah.
but no engagement
Yes.
starves it out.
Back to the toddler.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. That's the power of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the power of it. So, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that will come up. I find that other esoteric practices help me tremendously, whether it's cold plunging, a lot of stuff that comes out from that exercise from me.
Yeah.
It has been very beneficial.
Makes my mom cry every time she does it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like we have a cold
Yeah.
plunge at my house.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, it,
know,
it has she has a huge release.
Oh,
every
yeah.
time she does it.
That's
Every
cool.
time. I mean, I did it this morning, and
I love it. It's the only time my brain will ever
Shut off.
truly shut up.
So beautiful.
Like just
yeah.
it's the only silent 3 minutes or
Yeah.
5 minutes of my
Yeah.
I do that with the
entire
acupressure mat.
day.
I stand on it barefoot,
Okay.
which it's very intense.
Yeah.
But in those like I don't even think I can last a few minutes, but it's that intense where you just drop in and you're like, you know, because the pain.
What's
Yeah.
what's
but it
beautiful?
also realigns your body. It's
What's
very
beautiful
interesting.
about this engineered pain, and cold plunge is engineered suffering,
Yeah.
is you can sit with it and let go.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a practice of letting go. And it's only when you let go, it's kind of like a psychedelic mushroom trip. The only
The
time
come on, you're like, make it stop. And the second you can settle in,
let go.
it
Yes.
just,
That's the lesson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let go.
Yes.
And that letting go, if you took the entire Bhagavad Gita and you distilled it into one phrase, it would be let go.
Yes.
And these practices are there to help us. They're allies, whether it's psychedelic. I fast every week. That's been a game changer. I've been fasting for decades, but I do it very intentionally. So coupling these practices with what our discussion is, it makes a big difference, and it helps not only you, but the people around you, and then obviously corporate America. That's
Right.
that's who my mission is to help.
right.
Is to help the person who has the work ethic down, but has lost touch with their true identity.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then I have a question for you, and I'd love your perspective. And it does kind of, and I think it might be one of the reasons corporate America has such a hard time with embracing this fully. I mean, obviously, school of thought and who is at the top is a huge component. But on a personal level, I have struggled with this letting go practice and expectations. Right. And with corporate America, we have expectations. We are held to
Yeah.
financial performance. We're held to, all of the different things that we need to accomplish. And so setting KPIs and having, I would call them boundaries, but they're not. They are expectations of you as an employer and an employee to do and perform XYZ jobs.
Yes.
And so how do we do that while also embracing the letting go and the surrendering? And like, I struggle with that personally, where I'm like, I have expectations
100%.
and I
Right.
need to let go of that. But then I'm like, well, then what am I? I don't know how to drive. I don't know what the drive is anymore. Because
Yes.
if the expectation is there, then that I move in that direction.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But then I guess, I don't know. Is it just letting
It
go?
feels contrary to you.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to
Yeah.
give an opinion on
Please.
that. And this is where I'm at right now, actually. We have this earnest desire to grow spiritually, all three of us. We also have this professional desire to ascend. They're both true. For me, it's a matter of priority. My test is, what do you truly want? And are you willing to let go of what your ego mind thinks as the source of your happiness? This is a big test.
Yes, it is.
And I said to the Lord, there's nothing more important to me than you and this intimacy that we have. Take it all. Take it all. Take the business. Doesn't matter. I already have you. I could be anywhere in the world. As long as I'm aligned, I'm free. That is wealth. With that, I can create anything. But I have no agenda. I'll perform at my highest level. Now, I'm not saying that I'm giving up, but you are number one. So if there's a lawsuit and somehow I'm being tested or something happens, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's boogie.
Right.
Let's go to the next level. I come to Earth to realize my true self and pass this third dimensional test.
Do you think it's a test? You use that word a lot.
Yeah. I think it's a test.
Not more of a something you voluntarily signed up for?
Both.
I think
How
our
can it be
soul,
both? You're like, I voluntarily sit to be tested. I mean, I don't know. I'm curious.
look, our souls came in with, I believe, pre-planned problems, situations, so we can grow,
Sure.
right? So we come here. I talk about this on the show. I was molested when I was a 5-year-old. I don't regret that. Looking back is the best thing that's ever happened, because as a result of that so-called tragedy, my human body experienced something. I've grown through that.
Sure.
And we can believe in stuff, but the rubber meets the road when we manifest it in real time through free will on earth. That's why I call it tests.
Mm-hmm.
We could say a bunch of stuff. We could chant and meditate. All that practice is a preparation for various tests so we can actually manifest. Because it's only through free will and our determined choice that we bring about light and love.
Yeah.
So if my challenge is materialism, like Jesus was talking about this one dude, he's like, because he saw through the
Easier
guy.
to go through the eye of a needle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew that this brother, his issue was he was an elite. He had money. That was his highest love. He could say all kinds of shit. Yeah, I love you, God, but actually it's his money, right? So that person's issue was that.
Yeah.
If that is your issue, whatever, it may be something else for somebody else. There's a test. I believe we have to give it up completely for something way higher. And that way higher is something that I've experienced. Because of my experience of this kingdom of heaven, there's nothing higher. So for me, take it. Because what can you actually take from me? Nothing.
Nothing.
I already have it. I'm already with you. So it's an illusion that you can take something from me. Yeah. Take it all. What can you take? It's not real. What's really real is this alignment and this experience and this knowing, like you said, this conviction that I already have. Mm-hmm. So if I'm being tested for something, it's as it should be. It's for because I prayed I wanted to get better. So if it's coming into my life, cool, let's go. I have no fear.
Sure. I just am curious about the word testing versus just experiencing, I guess. I mean,
Right,
we're all going to have experiences, and tests for me, right? I've been learning a lot about this in terms of everybody's got a different charge about different words and different definitions about things. For me, test is a negative thing, like God is doing something to you in order to see if you really do mean what you say. And for me, it's more of like, no, we're just experiencing something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean
that maybe we contracted for, or maybe because of a choice based off of self that I didn't realize I was doing. That's
right. Yeah.
And God's like, well, this is the natural consequence of doing that, and it's not really a test being imposed on me, but it's something I created, right? Because I am the creator.
I agree with you. I think from my point of view, the framework that I use is it's a test for myself.
Yeah. Okay.
It's am I actually authentic? Are these practices, is my conviction actually true?
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
I want it.
Am I really at where I think I am?
Yeah.
Am I really ready?
Do you really mean this shit?
Yes.
I think of it like athletic performance, right? Like if you're training for a marathon, or like Cash works out, I work out. If you're doing specific things with your body, like you're going to be ready at a certain point in time, right? And then but the ego is sneaky. Right. It can come in any way, shape, or form. So you may think you're ready for something, but then there's a test that comes, right? Because you reach a certain level. Like even in business, you could say, okay, there from $0 to $1 million, you're at a certain level, and then from $2 million to $5 million is it's mid-sized business. It's a whole new animal. So at that point, you get tested, right? Like you think you're ready, but then. Are you really? Are you athletically really? Do you have the stamina? Do you have all all of that available at your bandwidth currently, or Is it your ego telling
Or do you
that
need
you're
more
ready?
practice?
Or do you need more practice? Do you need to,
Well,
you know?
and for me, my response would be like, if you surrender, right,
Yeah.
and believe and trust in the divine, then of course you are.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and
they
like,
will find a way through or
Yes.
over or pat, like, and we'll find a new opportunity or whatever. Like, I'm
exactly.
not sure that,
I want to be in a place where I'm surrendered,
yeah,
that if life is throwing something at me, it's for my own good.
yeah.
It's let's call it an examination even.
Yeah.
I want to be able to meet that so-called challenge and overcome it. In retrospect, hindsight, when I look back at the prior examinations, I realize that's how much momentum I've gotten, because those prior examinations and my preparedness to overcome has given me gains.
I don't think enough people take this opportunity, like to truly measure their growth and look
Yeah.
back with gratitude and go,
Yes.
you know, when you're sitting in a moment going, man, I wish I would have done it differently this time around, and take that 1 year back and gone, how would 1 year ago you handled this same situation?
Yes.
And been like, just kidding. We did fine. We did great. Like, you know what I mean? If we don't take enough
We
stock.
talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Because when we started, I mean, we didn't even have furniture to fill our apartment. You know what I mean? We were
Right.
like broke as a joke. And so to look back at all the things we've gone through and all the different examinations, testing periods, whatever you want to call it, where you're really having to examine what parts of me are still egotistical or are still relying on the old pattern, and what parts of me are truly surrendered.
Yep.
And so that's kind of where it lands, is like it's very sneaky, where you, especially in business, like you were saying, it's like, well, you want controls and you want things going on, but what part of it is controls and what part of it is your ego telling you that you should do it this way?
That when you use that word, that's when it's your ego.
Yeah.
You know what you should do?
Exactly.
You're like, what?
Exactly.
Or, oh, we
Yeah.
should have grown 10% more. Or we like
Yeah.
that, I think is
Don't
ego
should
language.
yourself.
If you should on yourself, it's ego language.
Yeah. Totally. And that needs to be recognized. We need to shed some light on that. So that's beautiful. And when I look at my life, my growth in life has been about embodiment. I can say a lot, I can read a lot, I can practice a lot, but it's only on the threshold of decision making where things become concrete, they become etched.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to now own that level of understanding or consciousness. And it gives me passage to the next various challenges that I came to Earth to clean up, to polish, whatever it is. So I don't know, it's been a very beautiful journey.
Yeah.
And now at this point in my life, I'm 52. I don't want to make my professional career my primary anymore. Doesn't mean I'm giving up. I love it. But I come to Earth for something it was a stepping stone to business.
Sure.
What I really come here for is sort of the next chapter of my life, which is consciousness-based education.
To wake people up.
Wake people up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really here for. Because I asked myself the other day, right here around the pond, I was like, what am I even doing this for? What's the whole point? I had to get clear with myself, some self-reflection. And I realized the highest thing that brings me joy is if I can help others end suffering in their lives.
On my own podcast, I was having a conversation with that very thing. Like, to grow, like this process, this journey, like I said, is uncomfortable. It's challenging. It's confronting, but it's not hard, I don't think. And I don't know. And I think people get the assumption that it is a lot of hard work and it's painful and all of that. And I'm not, but here's the deal. I can tell you it's a hell of a lot easier than looking at yourself in the mirror every day, suffering and hating your life and hating who you've become and not having joy and all, like, that's wildly painful.
Yeah, exactly. Every
day, all day is a painful experience. And so I always think it's really funny of my friends and I when we're on this side going, no, come on, come, it's so much better. And you feel like a missionary or something, like trying to help people like come to the bright light side and end their suffering. And ask the question, like, what does it take to wake people up? And I can't find a definitive answer, but a horrific catalyst seems to be the only thing that can do it.
Yeah.
Rock bottom is what it's called.
Rock bottom is
or
one of them. Yeah. That's definitely, that's
For
a
many
way
people,
death
that's
or
what it
grief.
is.
right?
Yeah.
Near-death experience is one of them.
Yep.
Which is an awesome subject. We could talk about that a little bit too.
But I'm like, why does it have to get that bad? I want to wake people up before it has to get that bad.
But I think encounters is the other way.
It is,
You know, you're what we talked about.
Okay.
You meeting Jamie and then I coming into the picture and we recognize each other's
Light.
vibe,
Yep.
light. Yeah. I think that's becoming more and more prevalent. It's becoming more ubiquitous. And as that speeds up, ramps up, I think it has the power to completely change the world collectively. That's been proven in the 60s with the Maharishi University of Management, the college I went to. They went to Lebanon during the Israeli-Lebanese war.
Yeah.
It's called the Maharishi effect. These are peer-reviewed research papers.
Yeah.
And they took hundreds of meditators who are advanced, meaning that they've stabilized the kingdom of heaven, the samadhi. They've been practicing enough, they stabilized it. And when they joined in a arena during the war, the Lebanese-Israeli war, and meditated twice a day, 40 minutes in the morning, 40 minutes at night. And then they observed the nuances of the war. And they were able to show that from the commencement of these groups that entered into that region with the meditative practices, they saw tangible, visible, measurable results in casualties, lowering, reducing, peace becoming more prevalent.
Yes.
So why do I say that? I say that because we can show in quantum mechanics that the double slit experiment, the observer effect is real.
Yes.
I believe in the power of the collective.
Right.
Yeah.
You can change the reality
Yeah.
We
of
can't.
something that drastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even
Yes.
with just
Yes.
the collective coming together.
I know. And I know it sounds woo-woo and trite, but I'm looking at this from a scientific level,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking of the 100th monkey experiment in Japan.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Me
It's where two groups of similar monkeys lived on two different islands.
Oh, yes, sir. This one.
And one of the groups discovered how to eat a potato from a river where there was sort of this shortage of food that was engineered. But this 100th monkey that started to learn about eating this certain potato by washing it in a stream caused the other island, who had no awareness of this other group of monkeys,
Yeah, they weren't even near it
they instantly discovered
at the same
this
time.
phenomenon that, oh, you can just wash these sweet potatoes in the river stream.
And then eat them, and then these. Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
this one island figured it out. At first, they were considered, probably from the elders, demon worshippers, until more and more monkeys started to be like, dude, it works. Why not? I'm going to eat these potatoes. Once the 100th monkey, which is significant of the collective consciousness, once the 100th monkey partook of this phenomenon of eating the washing the potato, the other island got it right away. So that's that experiment.
Okay. That is a little crazy though.
It's crazy.
I mean,
It
that
is,
is
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, but
The butterfly effect.
it is, because just recently I had a friend and colleague pass, and right, the phone tree sort of thing happened, and like literally all of us, all three of us on the same day of the previous week, he crossed our minds. And I was like, man, I really should reach out to him and check on him and see how he's doing. And all three of us were like, I had the same exact experience last week.
Wow.
And so like,
Beautiful.
it's the
Yes.
same sort of
Same
thing that
thing,
you're like,
yes.
maybe I should just watch the potato. And the other monkey's like, I don't know why, but I should watch this potato. Like, we are receiving communications on a regular basis if you just
Yes.
pay attention.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Through music, through writings,
Numbers.
through numbers, through
animals, feathers.
through you right this moment.
Right this moment.
Like through you and through
So-
me. Like,
This is beautiful. So if we can exercise that ESP, extrasensory perception, and what you just talked about, we know it's real, we all do, but it's not developed.
Right.
There's no, the prevailing science in the world is looking outside into matter, but nobody's researching consciousness.
inside.
Inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the answers are.
Yeah.
The
And the
kingdom of-
power is, whether that be the power of the brain or
Yes.
the power of the energy output, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
because both, one can be proven, like Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe
Yes.
talks about, or even just you can measure energetic waves
Yeah.
from your body. You've
can.
done it.
The Heart Math Institute.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that can emit.
Gorillian photography,
Yes,
where you
yeah.
can also even
See,
take
like, the auras and stuff.
photography of
Yeah.
the aura. These
Yeah.
are all things that are shunned because perhaps certain industries stand to profit from it being shunned, maybe, whatever, conspiracies, whatever. But the fact is that we're way more powerful than we know for the most part.
Yeah,
And for those
period.
people
Yeah.
that break through, like the Matrix, Keanu Reeves, he broke through. We can eventually get these people that are NPCs to glitch. They need to glitch.
Yeah, ultimately, that's a great way.
Basically, they glitch. And once they glitch and they're around Neos,
Yeah.
they, like you said, Emily, they say, there's something about you I'm attracted to. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is,
Right.
but I want to be around you. I want to listen to you. I want to be your friend. That's a real phenomenon that happens in my life
Yeah.
all the time. Okay? Like, and I'm not trying to hype myself up. I'm nothing. I'm just a conduit. I myself am just a conduit. I've decided to surrender and be a channel. That's all. But when I do speaking engagements, it goes really well.
Yeah.
You know, it goes really well.
Right. Everybody wants to talk to you
People-
after. Everybody wants to come
Yeah.
to you. Yeah, of course they
They
do.
want advice. And these are people that are
I'm
older
trying
than
to
you.
get out of the advice giving business. Like, I really am. That's one of those things I am trying
Yes.
to conquer.
Yes.
Like,
It's kind of awkward.
it's
So
again back to that. I don't even know what to say then.
Yes.
You're just like, then don't say anything.
Yes.
And now, but I have that's an ego superiority thing that I know better than you. And I want to tell you how to, and I'm just like,
that's it. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you brought that up because that's how ego is sly.
yes, very.
Tries to sneak up.
I'm just trying to help.
Exactly.
Bullshit.
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 You're trying to make
Feel
yourself
better
survive.
about myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My ego's trying to be like, oh, look how smart we are. We know more than you, sleepy person. Like,
100%. Those are higher level ego destructive
Yes.
strategies.
Yes.
That's
this
when
is ignorant bliss conversation
Yes.
where I'm like,
Yes.
isn't it just easier to be asleep?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Is it easier? Yes. Is it more blissful?
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, my work is not to be infatuated with bliss either. You know, I'm
That's a fallacy that many fall into.
yeah. I mean, whatever these polarities are, I'm not a leaf in the wind anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I'm settled. I'm structured. Content, and I see the beauty in life everywhere. The sting of suffering has lessened in my life. Many things I have to work through still, and I'm grateful for it. Life is a gift. It's a joy, but the biggest purpose that I see, and I think you ladies can concur, is helping others.
Definitely.
You know, helping others break through and creating space for people that may be suffering so bad, but just your encounter could do the trick, where it could open up certain glitches where the people that you're around will have better questions in life.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the part of that is when it comes to helping, like you may never see the fruit of that opportunity or that experience or whatever, is to be who you are authentically, have the encounter and walk away, bless them, pray for them, whatever. And you may never know 20 years from now, that encounter may have done something to change their life or wake them up or whatever it may be.
Definitely.
And I think that's where the letting go really comes from, is just not knowing or having the expectation of the outcome.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Right.
Outcome
If I
expectation.
if I say this to you, I expect you to do something with this advice I'm giving you.
Yeah.
And if you don't, now I have resentment and all of the things, because I've let go of all of that before already. But I want to help. There's a lot of that. There could be toxic ego in there as well. So to just have the authentic encounter and bless them and move on.
That's
throughout your
it.
day.
That's it.
That's all you can do.
That's it.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And you're leaving it completely open to all possibilities.
And some people, when you have those kind of encounters and you don't have the attachment, it makes them even more upset.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
sure does.
But you just can't latch on to that because it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and their perception.
Yeah, which the one thing that I have loved ever since I've heard it, and it has allowed me to really step back from that, is there are 8 billion different versions of reality happening at the same exact time.
Oh my God.
And the second I heard that, I was like, that's it. I'm done. I no longer care about anybody else's thoughts or perspectives or anything.
Why should we let the ego decide which one that is?
Right. And I'm just like, ever since I learned that, I was just like,
Yeah.
freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you just can never control
No.
what people perceive of you when there's 8 billion different versions happening. So I don't know. For me, that was a big one.
That's huge.
Aha
Yeah.
moments, right?
Big aha moment for me.
Revelations. Okay, thank you so much. I know we could go for hours here.
Yes, absolutely.
We would love to have you back.
Anytime.
Yeah,
All right.
let's do
I would
it.
love that. And I have a few people I would love to have on as well. Like my design friend I referenced, I would think he would be a fascinating person to interview.
Let's do
Nice.
it.
Yeah, not
thi-
there.
This show is all about community building,
Yes.
getting to know people, propping people up, whatever we can do to serve and help our community. So it's perfect. We're looking forward to it. So
Perfect.
let us know.
Love it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. See you
Yes,
next
thanks for
time.
coming.
You bet.
All right.